We interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
It's Wednesday. It's 6 p.m. It's the ThinkSoJoE Show. Yes. Here we are. Yeah.
Oh, was that the bottom thirds?
Yes, I already ran the lower third. You didn't get the chance to go boom.
Oh, there it is over there.
It's on the
Yep.
That's anyway. So here we are.
Yeah, such an eventful week.
Yeah, we're we watched a movie.
We did.
I discovered something weird about you, which is that despite the fact that you don't like Adam Sandler,
No, I do not.
for some reason you like Pauly Shore.
Oh, I don't just like Pauly Shore.
I don't like. How do you not like Adam Sandler, but you like Pauly Shore? How do we watch Biodome, but you won't watch Waterboy?
I don't know. I have no answer.
Like I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me. No, we didn't watch Up. She won't watch Up either,
No.
but she'll watch Pauly Shore movies all fucking day apparently.
Pauly Shore doesn't make me cry. He doesn't play with my heartstrings.
Yeah, he doesn't make me laugh, so
You wwere laughing.
I was laughing at the other guy. I wasn't laughing at Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Like, she's like, put on a movie. I'm like, okay, what movie? She's like, Biodome. I'm like, the fuck?
If you ask me for something, you can't be surprised at what's gonna. I think me and Allison were talking about Biodome in the last couple weeks.
And so all of a sudden now we're watching Biodome with
Yep.
fucking Pauly Shore.
Yep.
And which is if you're a Weird Al Yankovic fan and you know the song Albuquerque, that is the movie that he laments is the in-flight movie in Albuquerque.
Oh.
On his way to Albuquerque.
Oh.
But
Well,
yeah,
How about that?
yeah. So yeah, we watched Biodome.
Yeah. And you watched lots of wrestling and lots of hockey.
Yes, I have. You know, Vince McMahon's about to save the country.
Oh my God! What if he actually does?
So, like, you know, everybody's sharing this article, and this article is titled that, Donald Trump selects Vince McMahon to help open the economy. What it doesn't say in the headline and elaborates on further in the article is that it's Vince McMahon and the heads of other sports leagues. So it's Gary Bettman, and it's, the fucking NFL guy. I don't know these people's names.
No, I don't either.
And Dana White from the UFC is in there. Like, this is... You know, it's not just Vince McMahon here. I mean, you know.
Well, that's good.
I'll tell you what, though. After 9/11, I said, oh, you know what? Vince McMahon's going to save the country. And then, like, 2 days later, he ran a show. And it was the first, like, public gathering in the United States after 9/11 was Friday. It was SmackDown on Thursday night that week. But I don't think Vince McMahon is going to, reopen the economy.
What if he did?
Or the other heads of sports leagues, you know? I mean, like, I think Vince McMahon would be more into, his own interests, and I think Dana White's more into the UFC's own interests, and Gary Bettman for the NHL, and I keep wanting to say Paul Tagliabue for the NFL, but I know that's not right, because I think that was, like, the old commissioner, and I think they got somebody else now. I have no idea who these people's names are.
You're a football fan. You should know.
I should. It's just not coming to me.
Yeah.
And I've definitely read the guy's name in the last couple of days. So, that's why I know about this stuff, because I get paid to read wrestling news. I actually had to yell at, I actually had to finally tell one of my clients, dude, no, you need to send me these things earlier.
Yeah.
Because it was like 3 o'clock. I get a text, oh, new script, long script in 15 minutes. 20 minutes later, here's part 1, part 2's coming in 5 minutes. So I go record part 1. 20 minutes later, I'm done editing with part 1, and I'm just sitting there waiting for part 2. Finally, 10 minutes after that, here's part 2. And I'm like, dude. So I'm in the booth, and I'm trying to stay awake. It's 4:30. It's 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. So by the time I'm done, And I send the script, send the files. I'm like, dude, you need to send these earlier. It's 4:20 in the fucking morning, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't mind late scripts. I don't mind, like, I'm going to be up that time anyway working, but I don't want to be getting scripts that I need to do that night at 4 a.m. But I digress. That was, and I don't want to be like, dude, if I don't want to like threaten to quit or anything either, because like this is a good chunk of my income we're talking about. So, Laura says we should watch Home Alone 5, which doesn't exist. We all know it doesn't exist. There's only 2 Home Alone movies. If Home Alone 5 existed, it would be on Disney Plus. But it's not.
It's true. It probably would be on Disney Plus.
I watched that new Simpsons short. That's a Disney Plus exclusive. The one with Maggie Simpson. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's adorable. You guys should watch it. Really should. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. As are all the Maggie Simpson shorts. This is like the second one, but as are all of them.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Hockey jersey week, by the way. Rocking the ThinkSoJoE show hockey jersey for day 7 of hockey jersey week.
I thought you were saying day 7 of this hockey jersey.
No.
I was like, why am I sitting right next to you?
No. I've worn 7 different hockey jerseys over the past 7 days.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Yes.
So, told some stories about some of them, and especially about this one on my chair here, the Sabres 50th anniversary one, because I finally got one just before everything shut down. I finally got this jersey. I've been trying all damn season.
Yeah.
And so I knew that was going to be one of those, and one of the jerseys I wore over the course of the week, and I knew I wanted to shout out some of the people that I met at the conference when I was in New York in October, because it was like, you know what, I went to this conference, that was a chunk of money right there, and then I went to the Sabres home opener, and that was a chunk of money, so I didn't have money to buy the jersey right away.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, and then as far as I knew, they, I did not expect them to not be making more. So finally, they said, they finally, Sabres store was like, hey, we have Jack Eichel jerseys in stock. This is the last batch ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to go buy it. I had tickets for the game that night. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go now. I'm going to buy these. And then I'm going to come home because I had a ride to the game too. So I didn't have to, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going home. I'm going to the store. I'm going to buy them. And then I'll come home and I'll wait for my buddy Ryan to pick me up. And so I got it that day. And there was still a couple left when I got back to the arena for the game.
Yeah.
But I'm still glad I went early because, why take that chance if you can get something you've been waiting on for, 7-8 months.
Yeah, you were getting pretty riled up about, like, the online jersey sales.
Well, I don't like fake jerseys, and there's all, people are still, I've been seeing posts in the Sabres group I'm in of, like, hey, can you guys tell me if this jersey's fake? And I'm just like, you can't tell that's fake? Like, yeah, that's fake. Yeah, so, but I knew I wanted to go on, like, Instagram and tag, my friend Christina that I met at the, conference in October. Yeah. And tell that story, and on Twitter, my friend Uriah that I met at the conference in New York. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so, I that was part of my plan for Hockey Jersey Week, which was just kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing because I saw a post that was like, oh, the NHL playoffs would have started last night. Like, damn.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all my posts from years past, and one says, screw Christmas. This is the most wonderful time of the year, NHL playoffs. So, damn it, coronavirus. Christmas is ruined. Yeah.
Wasn't bad enough they took Easter from us.
Yeah. I don't care about Easter.
I just care about a reason to get together, especially with family, and have food. And that was always what Easter was for my family until, like, my grandmother passed away. And, nobody really would just, like, host huge dinners It's a lot of work. I don't know what my grandma was thinking doing all that. But yeah, so even though we don't really celebrate it like that anymore in my family, if we can get together, we're going to have snacks. And like, there's just certain foods that we have, especially, I don't know, there's a lot of sweet treats for Easter. All kinds. I got sick. Oh my God, you guys, the jelly beans.
This was the Sabres year. I don't think this was the Sabres year, Tom. I as much as I would like to think that they would have came back and won out and made the playoffs, it wasn't happening. I don't think. You never know, but it was doubtful.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing: we've got these classic games now. They're showing on MSG.
Yeah.
Which I've been watching every night. It's been 14 years since one of what's been called one of the greatest Sabres games of all time.
Yeah.
Which was game 1 of the 2006 series against Ottawa. And I was at a play that night.
What play?
Camelot.
Okay.
At the Riviera Theater. I was at the Riviera Theater with an AM radio, sitting in the back row, trying to get reception.
You asshole.
Yeah, I was a fucking asshole, but I was high. I told this woman several times, no, I'm staying home and watching fucking hockey. She said, no, it's opening night. You got to come. She didn't even have a fucking big role in the thing. She played like a fucking tree in the background or something. I don't know.
You couldn't have gone on closing night.
I think we were broken up by then. So. I'm sitting in the back. I'm trying to listen on an AM radio. It's not fucking working. I can't get a signal. So, and I barely have cell phone reception, but I'm getting texts from my roommate at the time's girlfriend telling me like, oh, the Sabres just scored with like 13 seconds left to go or 10 seconds left to go or something like that. And then once overtime started, it's like, oh, damn, the Sabres just scored like 13 seconds into overtime to win the game. Like, holy fuck, I just missed a hell of a game.
Yeah.
And over the course of the years, the Sabres have called this one of the greatest playoff games in Sabres history. And they finally showed it on Monday night. And I'm just like, you know what? I have, like, finally. Like, they've been doing these classic games for like 3-4 weeks now. And the first couple of weeks, I'm like, they're showing all these games against Ottawa. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the Ottawa game I want to see.
Right. And
I'm tweeting to them, like, I want to see this Ottawa game, this specific game. And finally it aired on Monday. So I was like, yeah, okay, finally I get to see this. And now I think I'm even more mad that I was at this stupid fucking play. Like, you know what? If she was like, one of the lead roles in the play or something, like that would have been one thing. But I'm mad because I went to go watch her play some fucking little minor role. She wasn't a tree in the background, as I said earlier. That was, exaggeration. But it was definitely not a role that was pertinent to the story of Camelot and all that.
Yeah.
It was not a killer lead role that she had that she absolutely needed me to be there.
Yeah.
I eventually, a couple of years ago, I went to go see her in another play at the Brown Box Theater, I think, whatever it is.
Woodbox Theater.
What is it?
Woodbox Theater.
Yeah, up on the third floor of the old Niagara Falls High School, the NAC.
Yep.
It was literally a week before I went to go see Trainwreck with you.
Yeah.
Our first date.
Yeah.
But
sorry to ruin your chances with that other girl.
Ruin my chances with who?
Didn't you say that you were talking to a girl and
was I?
Yeah, and I put my status that we had a date.
No, I don't think you ruined anything. I think like I just got stood up, and you also got stood up that night.
Yeah, that's true.
We both had we had a date.
Yeah.
And we both got stood up for our dates we were supposed to go on afterward. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, let's go get food or something. And you're like, oh, no, my mom's on her way already.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, that didn't work.
And, I was, like, addicted to Frankie's steak tacos.
Yeah,
and
which is right across the street.
Yeah, it is right across the street. Like, I should have gone with my gut, but the timing all worked out.
Yeah.
We had another epic date.
Yes, we did. Absolutely. But yeah, no, it was. But yeah, that was a crazy. But yeah, I went to this other play because she felt I needed to make it up to her that I was trying to watch a Sabres game, or trying to listen to a Sabres game while she was doing the Camelot thing, whatever the fuck she was playing in Camelot. And this is all right, fine, I'll go. So I went. I was entertained. It wasn't bad. It sucked. I had to go to Niagara Falls. It always sucks to have to go to Niagara Falls. I mean, I wish I could go to Niagara Falls or anywhere right now, but
I know.
You know, New York State is now instituting you have to wear a mask if you're unable to social distance, which means if you're going to the store and you don't feel like you're going to be able to stay 6 feet away from somebody, you need to wear a mask. Okay. That is now like you have to starting on Monday.
Oh, wow.
On Friday, rather, this Friday.
Okay.
So if you're going out anywhere, and this includes if you're working, if you're going anywhere and you're not going to be 6 feet away from other people, you have to wear a mask starting Friday. Now, there's no statewide legal recourse if you don't.
Okay.
But like I think the indication was we think New Yorkers will make you if they see you without one.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, yeah, that sounds like at least part of New York State.
Yeah.
I wore one out the other day when I went to go get some meds. And also, like, I had to go to Tops. I didn't want to go to Tops. I wanted to get everything at Rite Aid. But I'm, like, looking around Rite Aid in the food aisles, like, where the fuck is the bread?
Yeah, even before all this started, it was hard to find the bread.
But so I found the bread as I was leaving the store.
It's on the way out of the store.
It is right when you walk in the door. It's right there in front of you.
Oh.
It's not in the food. They don't have any bread in the food aisles. I also didn't see, I think baking soda was on your list. Baking powder, baking soda. Baking soda was on your list. I didn't see that either. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I guess I'm going to Tops.
Yeah.
Which I didn't want to do.
Thank you.
But I did anyway. So I'm going to have to go back soon because I ain't going to. I'm running out of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Might have to order food from the pizza place again and get another 2 liter. So I don't have to leave the house.
Yeah.
That's what I did last. We're sitting around. We're like, you're like, can we order food? I'm like, yeah, I'm ordering a 2 liter too.
Yeah. It was a good call.
I
know it was probably like way more expensive than
it was like $3, which is
ouch.
Yeah.
That's like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, so that's the thing now. If you guys got to go out, you have to wear a face mask.
I didn't realize that.
You should be doing that. Should be doing that anyway. And I think, you know, if we enforce that a little, you know, if we enforce that really well, we're going to get those number of cases to start going down.
Yeah.
The number of new cases per day. We're going to get that to start like really drastically going down. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And hopefully that would mean we can start getting things reopened.
Oh God, I miss the world.
I mean, you know, it's Randall syndrome. You know, it's from Clerks. Like, you hate people, yeah, but I love gatherings. You know? and I feel that same way. Like, I hate people, but I like gatherings. I miss concerts. I miss live shows. I miss my band.
I think a lot of people miss their bands right now.
Like, I haven't seen them since the last show. We're working on something for you guys right now, so stay tuned. So I miss, you know, like, I can only watch so many live streams. I need to be at a show.
I know.
Like watching a live stream is like, well, shit. Why? I wish I was there.
Yep.
You know, I wish I could be there. Like, you know, Guns N' Roses can put on all the live streams they want. And, you know, it ain't going to be the same as me going to Toronto to see them. So here's hoping people start listening to what the fucking government tells them to do. Not that I advocate that ever. But, you know, start listening to what health officials are telling you to do. You know, wear a mask if you have to go out in public.
Yeah.
You know, stay home as much as you can. Wash your damn hands. Like, let's get this curve flattened. You know, it's going to be a really rough year and a half coming up.
Yeah.
Because we now need to worry about, when the vaccine, that's when everything is going to go back to normal, is when we get a vaccine. But if we can get back to somewhat normal, like stores are open and toilet paper is on the shelves,
Right.
Like that's a start.
Right.
Or you can go to a restaurant as long as the tables are 6 feet apart. That's something.
Yeah.
It's going to be a gradual process. We're not going to be back to 70,000 seat stadiums being full.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen for a while. But we can start getting there. We can start gradually moving towards that if we can get the number of cases to start going down.
Yeah.
And not just slightly, but I've seen the charts for China and Italy and all these other countries that have been ravaged by this.
Mm-hmm.
And the charts go up like this, and then they just go straight down.
Yeah.
And if we can get the U.S. or even parts of the U.S. to that point,
yeah,
we can start getting back to normal. I'm not holding out hope that I'm going to see Guns N' Roses in July. I'm not. I am holding out hope. I'm not asking for refunds or anything until I know for sure that it's canceled or postponed or whatever. Here's the other thing: is people are upset now because Ticketmaster has said they're not giving refunds on postponed shows. There's a reason they're not giving refunds on postponed shows. It's because you can still use those tickets at the rescheduled shows whenever they happen.
That makes perfect sense.
Now, if Ticketmaster were to say, okay, well, we're not giving money back on canceled shows,
right,
that's a whole different ballgame. That is a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather have the concert ticket than the money, but of course, unlike a lot of people, I'm still working. So I can see why some people are upset because they're not. We're not going to get this money back that we could use right now.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I'm just I'd rather have the concert ticket. I'd rather still have this in my hand and be able to say, okay, well, whenever this happens, I'm going to see Guns N' Roses. I'm going to see Rancid.
Yeah.
But if the shows get flat out canceled and Ticketmaster said no, you're not getting your money back, then I have a right to be pissed. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I'm wrong here.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, I understand. Like I said, I understand why some people would be upset. For me personally, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I've got tickets to shows that I'm hoping that the shows still eventually happen.
Like what?
Guns N' Roses.
Well, I thought you would say 3 different tickets. I don't know.
3 different tickets.
I don't know.
I'm saying Guns N' Roses specifically. That's the one that's the one ticket I bought for this summer.
Yeah.
Well, one of 2 tickets because we got the Dropkick Murphys Rancid tickets. But
yeah.
But that was the one ticket I bought for myself this summer. I bought that, and then everything else got announced. Rage Against the Machine and Tool.
I know, they did that.
Man, I could have gone and seen Rage Against the Machine, but I bought Guns N' Roses tickets. Oh, well. And now Rage Against the Machine is postponed.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, as far as I know, has not been postponed. I'm sure it will be because, we got to worry about, flattening the curve here and in Canada before the border can open and Guns N' Roses can even go to Toronto, let alone me.
Yeah.
Go to Toronto to see Guns N' Roses. So, I miss, I miss traveling.
Yeah.
I just found out, I did a voiceover. I found out that you can actually travel across Canada from Toronto to Vancouver by train. It's a 4-day trip.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
I could have gone on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's something to remember when shit opens back up and I can travel again.
Yeah.
Not that I want to leave you home by yourself for 5 days or, 8 days or whatever the case may be, because I'd have to get there and back. But
Jasmine would come over. She would hang out with me.
But I would love to see Vancouver. I've always wanted to go to Vancouver. Nintendo used to have their, you learn how to make video games at a place in Vancouver for Nintendo. And that was like, when I was a kid, I'm like, ooh, I want to do that.
That's cool.
And then I grew up and I'm like, nah, I want to still be a DJ. Still never happened.
I mean, you're close enough.
Close enough. I'm doing a podcast. I do voiceovers. You know, I make money talking into a microphone. Close enough.
A pretty nice microphone.
Yeah. Not the one I'm using right now. I like the one I'm using right now, but I got my Rode NT1A in the booth. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're working on improving. We're going to get better lighting.
Oh, yeah. That'll be soon, right?
If it's not...
Maybe next week?
If it's not here for next week's show, it'll be here for the week after. It's coming Wednesday or Thursday next week.
Okay.
I was thinking of getting a green screen for right behind us, but, like, it's getting harder and harder to find green screens right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's because people are, like, working from home and they're on Zoom and they want to, you know, hide the background of their apartments or what, you know, hide the mess in their
messy studio,
in their wherever they're recording their work from, or not recording, but you know, conferencing from work from. But I just wanted one because you know I was messing around with this one back here and like holy shit, this chroma key on this app really works really well. Just like it's awkward to just have one blank spot, like all this stuff, and then just this little area back here where there's whatever, you know. But yeah. So, yeah, that's you know, that's what's going on, New York. You guys got to keep your you know, faces covered if you're going to be out in public and not 6 feet away from people.
Do you know?
I'm a trendsetter, you know. Like I've been wearing a mask for like the past 2 months.
He has.
Yeah.
Like a badass.
Yeah. So yeah, it's even on the album cover.
Yeah.
I'm a trendsetter, you guys. I was wearing a mask before it was required by law. Yeah.
I'm so excited to make my bandanas into little masks.
Yeah. Well, you know, they said you could just tie a bandana around your face as long as it covers your nose and your mouth.
Yeah.
So just exactly what I've been doing.
Right.
So you don't even need to put like the hair ties like you did with the one.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like just tying it around my head would have been more effective because it was kind of like, you know, it's covering me, but it's like it's really thick. So like
Yeah.
I'm at the pharmacy trying to give them your birth date, and and it's like. And so I had to like pull it down and be like, yeah, it's 7:29, you know. And so it was like that defeats the purpose.
Right.
So like I would be better off just tying it around my face and just having the 2 layers instead of like 4 or 6 or whatever, you know. But you did a great job making that.
Thank you.
It's in the wash machine right now. I forgot to take the hair ties out of it.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. Anyway.
Is it in the washer or the dryer?
It's in the washer. I haven't got to the dryer yet.
I didn't know that there was laundry in.
I put laundry in earlier.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. This is my good deed for the day.
Yeah. Well, you get to bring it back up too.
Yeah, I got to throw it in the dryer. I guess I'll do that during commercials while I'm watching 3 things at once again. Hockey and 2 wrestling shows.
It's funny to me that you split your attention like that, and between the 2 of us, I'm the one on Adderall.
So like last week, you know, I had the classic Sabres game. It was what they're showing now is the 2006 playoffs.
Okay.
So they're showing like all 4 wins for each series. So I wonder what they're going to do the Thursday when they show the Carolina series that we should have won.
Oh.
But anyway, so they're showing that, and they're also showing so there's AEW and NXT, and I'm watching all 3 last week, but I knew what I wanted to watch, which was that main event on NXT, so I kind of muted everything and was paying attention to NXT. and just kind of had my eye on everything else. So, yeah, that's, but I don't know what I'm doing this week because I don't know what's on. I think like there's an NXT title match on tonight, so probably pay attention to that. We got some new music for you today. This is from The Missing Worker, who have a new EP out on the 20th of this month.
That's awesome.
And this song is going to be on it. And I got to flip over to the other page here. There we go. And this song is called Idols on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Who I could be when all that you are is everything I need. I don't worry now. Say anything to me. Icarus in the sky. Come and melt my wings. I'm afraid of heights. I begin to scream. What becomes of me when everything is falling down? Where is your outstretched hand? What becomes of me when everything is falling down? Were you all I thought you'd be? What becomes of me when everything is falling down? Where is your outstretched hand? What becomes of me when everything is falling down? Where is your outstretched hand? What becomes of me when everything is falling down? Were you all I thought you'd be? Were you all I thought you could be? Hold me in your arms. You're a young queen. I have turned to stone. We are all a dream. You have left me here, drowning in wine and cream. Tell me what you want. Tell me what I need. Hammers in my water, looking for a thief. You were never here, so you can never leave. I open my mouth to scream.
That was The Missing Worker on all WNY Think So Joe Show. What'd you say the name of the album was?
The album is Being Chased by Phantoms. It'll be available on Bandcamp April 20th.
So you're telling me that they're releasing an album on 420.
I wonder if there's a method there.
So I'm scrolling through Facebook during the song break, and I found out that Ben & Jerry's has a new flavor called Netflix and Chilled.
It looks really good.
It says peanut butter as ice cream, pretzel as swirl, fudge brownie as chunk, and spoon as itself in Netflix and Chilled. So
Why are there 2 containers?
this one is ice cream and this one is a frozen dessert.
Oh, so it must be non-dairy.
It's non-dairy, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Very good.
So here's some live streams you guys can check out this week. My buddy Zach Ward, who I graduated high school with, and just posted his graduation picture today.
Oh, yeah?
He did. Or his yearbook picture, which I don't understand how that's supposed to help the class of 2020 feel better.
Like, look what we got and you didn't.
Somebody basically said, well, you know what though, like they've taken those pictures months ago.
Yeah, that's
for
true.
the 2020 yearbook, class of 2020 yearbook, and I'm sure they'll get their yearbook one way or another if they've paid for it or want to order one or whatever. I'm sure the schools have some kind of contingency in place for that. But really, like, seriously, how is that helping? But anyway, so Zach's got a few upcoming live streams. He's actually got one coming up in about half an hour on Niagara University's CPB is presenting the show at 7 p.m. today. No, that's today.
Yeah, that's today.
Thursday, he's doing a afternoon delight midday chill out at noon. Friday, he's doing a Pearl Jam show because that's just what Buffalo needs is more people covering Pearl Jam.
I don't mind.
And Saturday, he's doing another afternoon delight show at noon.
Very
So,
cool.
and Zach's a very talented multi-instrumentalist, I think. Or does he just play guitar? I have no idea.
I don't.
I know him as a singer and a guitar player, but I'm sure he's probably versed in other things as well.
I don't know.
Zach's a talented guy. He's always been.
I've only heard him a little.
But he's, check out these live streams and see what you think.
Yeah, I have to check that out tomorrow.
Band Together Buffalo. We talked about them a few weeks ago. They're doing from venues. They're shooting these shows.
Yeah.
And tonight at 8 p.m. it is The Last Waltz. And that's going to be from Sportsman's, apparently. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m., Functional Flow. Although that one is a Throwback Thursday, so it seems as if that one's probably from before.
Before all of this.
From the before times.
Before time.
And there's another Roblox sesh going on with Harrier, Schweez, Scafetta, Mr. J, and Swarm? Swarm. I'm going Swarm.
I'm sticking hard with Swarm.
It's like when we saw Paris, but they called themselves Paris. Swarm. And that you go to their page for that event, Roblox Sesh, and they'll give you the link to the server so you can go check that out.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know much about Roblox. I've watched my kid play it. I heard Metallica playing in it, and I'm like, why do I hear an 8-bit version of Enter Sandman? And I went in the room, like, is that coming from the game? Yeah.
Wait, what is that trash?
Thrash. Speaking of trash.
Oh, man.
Let me ask, this is a question for everybody. Okay? If I say Trapped and ask you to name 2 songs without Googling them, can you do it? Do you know? Can you name more than one song by Trapped?
No.
I know I can't. Can anybody? This is it, without Googling anything. Name me 2 songs by Trapped. That's the challenge for today. Because apparently they think they're the biggest fucking band on streaming platforms. And this dude has, no. There's a no, exactly. So, like, seriously, this band for the past, like, month and a half has been, like, seriously pro-Trump and just trash-talking literally everybody on Twitter. And talking about how great they are and how many streams they have. Do you know anybody at all, that owns Trapped's album or albums? I don't know how many fucking albums they have. I don't know if they have more than one.
I don't know either.
I don't think I know anybody that owns a Trapped album.
Not on purpose.
And I couldn't name a song other than that one big hit they had back in 2003. But they're on fucking Twitter shit talking literally everybody, and they've gotten into it with the entire artist collective of Sumerian Records.
Oh dear.
Which includes Body Count. They're getting into it. They're trying to say we've sold more albums than Body Count, and we've got more streams than Body Count. And, you know, Ice-T's a great actor, but we sell more records than him.
Oh my goodness.
And Ice-T's just like, yeah, I'm going to see you one of these days. And that's literally what he tweeted. And they're just like, yeah, he said, keep talking. We'll bump into each other one day. And Trapped is, oh, Ice-T's threatening me for saying Trapped has much higher streaming numbers. You can't make this shit up. So Trapped is trying, and people are like going at Trapped with numbers. And Trapped is, no, we stream more than them. Literally going at them with numbers for Bring Me the Horizon. Right? Trapped is like, oh, look at this. Look, we got 2.4 million listeners on Pandora, and they've got 497,000. So somebody comes back at them like, okay, you've got 2.4 million on Pandora, 1.8 million on Spotify. You got 4.2 million listeners. And then Bring Me the Horizon has 4.3 million on Spotify alone. Plus 497,000 on Pandora, so 4.7 million listeners, roughly, compared to Trapped's 4.3 million that they're trying to say is like, oh, look how many listeners we have. I'm willing to bet that out of the 4.3 million streams, at least 4 million of those are Headstrong. Mm-hmm. Because nobody knows. Does Trapped even have other songs?
I mean, they have to if they release an album, right?
Did they release an album?
They have to. We heard of them.
But that doesn't mean they've had to have released an album.
It's very likely. They kind of let anybody do it nowadays.
Trapped was also on the NHL 2003 soundtrack, so that basically is the same thing as making the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
True.
Yeah. But seriously, these guys, this dude needs an ego check here. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Like, we've got we have 4.2 million listeners on fucking Pandora. Who fucking listens to Pandora? You know why you got 4.7 million listeners on Pandora? Because all the other bands that you're trying to trash and say that you're better than are the ones that people are saying, hey, play us, start a station based on this song, and then it plays Headstrong as like the second song.
Right. I miss Pandora. I miss those simple days when that was your only streaming service.
What I liked about Pandora is it was a great way to discover new music.
Yes.
In like, hey, I really like this song. Play me more songs like this one. Mm-hmm. And, you can still do that on like Spotify and Google Play and Amazon and all that. But I think Pandora really just... I wasn't talking to you, Google. Anyway, my Google's over here talking to me. But like, I think Pandora was great for that back in the day.
Yeah.
And, it's free if you don't, if you don't mind ads.
Yeah, I never minded.
No, and, the ads were every few songs, but you can only skip, like, 6 songs.
Yeah, and then they had you change the station.
And you had to change the station if you wanted to skip some more. So, yeah, anyway. But, I don't know, Laura. It said something about it doesn't have an app that I was asking it for or some shit. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to it because it wasn't coming through on my microphone, so...
Yeah.
Thing is, if we had the Alexa in here, we could plug it right into the board. And so if we accidentally set it off, everybody could hear what it says.
Really?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that with this?
This doesn't have a jack on it.
Oh.
Or Bluetooth.
Oh.
Alexa's got the Bluetooth.
Don't say her name too loud. She's just in the bathroom.
I know. She was playing me some Living Brain Dead earlier.
I know.
Yeah.
She plays that for me sometimes.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing is just telling these smart devices to play my band, and it's like, ooh, hey, that's me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's what I should have done when I was shooting earlier. Was just tell this thing to play it instead of having to hit play every time. Anyway, that's
live and learn.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, stay tuned, and Living Brain Dead's got something for you coming soon, hopefully.
I can't wait.
As long as my drummer figures out what he's doing. He called me twice yesterday. Twice. I didn't call him back the second time.
Really?
Well, my phone's always on silent.
Yeah.
So I never know if my phone's ringing unless I'm like looking right at it when it rings. And neither of the times that he tried calling me, was I looking at my phone. So I called him back the first time. I'm like, dude, what's up? And he told me, asked me the question he needed to ask. And I answered him. And then he tried calling me back. And I'm like, I was already sitting down watching TV, watching the Sabres game, playing a video game on the other screen. Just like, all right, you know what? I'll just text him later. And so I kind of knew what he was calling about. So I texted like, hey, this is what you got to do. So I'm hoping he got it and that everything's going to be okay. And we're going to get everything and we can put all this together and get this out relatively soon. What we're working on right now, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, so Trapped is just like fighting with literally everybody now. And
what are they going to do on the playground when they don't have any friends?
I don't know. It's somebody. There was a great tweet in here somewhere in this article I'm looking at, where there it is. With regards to Trapped, like, oh, Ice-T's threatening me now, and they're like, I thought you guys were headstrong and could take on anyone. Serious, like, come on, these guys are ridiculous. Like, seriously, you had one fucking song. Nobody can name. Nobody even know. Does anybody know what the name of Trapped's album is? Or if they have more than one?
They can hang out with Hoobastank. Oh my God, that tickles me.
I'm pretty sure Hoobastank is one of the bands that they've trash talked on in the course of this. But I can name a couple of Hoobastank songs if I think about it. I'm sure.
Too. I liked Hoobastank for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the name of their album. I know they had "The Reason" was one of their songs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if I think about it real hard, I could come up with another one.
I'm probably gonna listen to Hoobastank later tonight. Thank you for that.
I'll tell you what you don't want. I'll tell you what you don't want to listen to is "Puddle of Mud."
Oh
my God, we saw they were covering, what was it, About a Girl?
Yeah.
They were covering About a Girl by Nirvana, and it was just fucking terrible.
Oh my God, and like the faces he's making, like he's trying really hard. It's like, dude, you're playing a Nirvana cover. Okay. You shouldn't be trying that hard.
I've never, I've never disliked Puddle of Mud, but I've never been a huge fan of Puddle of Mud. Like, I thought I was an adolescent at the time that their music came out, and it's like, oh, hey, yeah, these lyrics are great. and now that I'm older, I'm like, what's this dude, like 12?
This is the best they could do, huh?
Yeah, and but now, to see, and then they came to Rapids a couple of years ago, and I wanted to go, but I didn't want to go to see Puddle of Mud. I didn't want to go hear their music.
I wanted Evening Star?
Yes, it was Evening Star. What did I say?
You said Rapids.
Yeah, Evening Star.
Right town, wrong venue.
Right. But so they went to Evening Star, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go, but I don't want to go to hear their songs.
Yeah.
I want to go to see what kind of shit show this is going to be, because Wes Scantlin is out of his fucking mind and has just drunkenly walked off stage several times on that tour alone. Yeah. So I wanted to see what kind of train wreck that show was going to be.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up going, and I guess he showed up late, and a lot of people left before they went on, and dude, Axl Rose could get away with that because Guns N' Roses was the biggest fucking band in the world at the time. Wes Scantlin can't get away with that because nobody fucking cares about Puddle of Mud. But I'm seeing this. I'm seeing memes about this performance, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I have to see it.
Yeah.
And I clicked on it, and he starts singing, and you're like, you're gonna put yourself through this, aren't you? And I think I got through like the first chorus, and I'm like, that's enough. That's enough. No more.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Thank you for.
I'm okay with bad Nirvana covers because there's been millions of them over the past 25 years.
So true.
But like that was one of the worst.
Yeah, it was really bad.
You know who does really good Nirvana covers is
Arcadia.
well, yeah, but I want to say Shinedown. It's a band that starts with S that was around at that time. And
Okay.
I don't think it was Smile Empty Soul, so I think it was Shinedown,
All right.
who I saw at like an Edge Fest. And they did You Know You're Right.
Yeah.
And like they did such a good job that I'm like, you know what? I'm not convinced that was a lost Nirvana recording anymore. Like I'm like I think Shinedown recorded that. And just said that it was a lost Nirvana recording and convinced the record label of it. Obviously, that's I'm being facetious here, but
No way. Not you.
Yeah, never. Everything I say on this show is true.
Yes. So, should I tell them about the jelly beans?
What about the jelly beans?
Do you remember the night of the jelly beans?
Yes.
Do you remember what I made you go through with me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys remember the jelly beans from last week? How we each totally had a pound container of spiced jelly beans? And mine was mostly gone. It was. Well, that was the problem. I ended up giving myself a little bit of a tummy ache. And at first, I was constipated from the jelly beans. And it hurt really bad, so I made Joe sit with me. and then they came out, the jelly beans. And I made Joe stay up all night with me and sit.
I was trying to get to work.
Yeah. And he sat with me. You guys, Joe is a keeper. But it was don't eat that many jelly beans at one time.
Yeah, Laura says we should ban the jelly beans.
No, we don't need to ban the jelly beans.
She also says that everything she says is true, so that's a lie.
I don't like the riddles.
Every week when she asks if why is there a cat in the background? Well, there's no cat in the background.
What if there was one of these? Let's get Reese in here.
Should take a picture of Whisper and just put it in the green section in the back there.
Oh my God, how fun would that be?
Just green screen out the green screen, but it's just a picture of Whisper.
Like the Sunshine Baby and Teletubbies.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I don't know. Like that's another thing why I haven't bought a green screen is because I'm like I want to buy a green screen, like just a pop-up one to put behind us for the show. But it's like, what am I going to put on it?
Yeah, that sounds like work.
Like, what am I going to put on it? And then, like, if you have to get up during the show and you have to go around me, then we have to move the green screen and get it back.
So I would have to have a little bucket to pee during song breaks over
Basically,
here.
yes.
Remember when we were remodeling the bathroom and we had to go to the bathroom in the buckets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Those fucking contractors.
Why is Scott in the background?
Scott should be our Teletubby baby sunshine.
That's what we'll do. We'll just use this green screen and we'll just put random pictures in there every week. We'll just, we'll just make that look like a giant poster on the wall.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's a giant poster of the cat, giant poster of Scott Loeffler in a dress.
Which he pulled off.
Yeah. He didn't look terrible in the dress, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. Fucking trapped.
Fucking trapped.
No, she said Scott's wearing a suit jacket. Scott's the skull.
Oh. Clever.
Yeah. We'll just put a picture of Trapped. We'll find their album cover. We'll put that in there.
And that way we'll all know the name of their album.
And it'll be the most publicity Trapped's gotten from anything other than trolling on Twitter for in
A decade.
17 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I a couple of, not too long ago on this show, I was talking about Trapped because I was telling the story of going to Seattle and hearing Headstrong on the radio the whole way there in 2003 when I was 21. Anyway, but it was like, oh man, this song's really good. And then like coming back to Buffalo and like 6 months later, oh, here's a new song from a new band called Trapped. And now all these years later, it's like, why did we let them become famous? Like, somebody said somewhere that, you remember the times before the internet when one-hit wonders stayed one-hit wonders?
Yeah.
Right there. Remember before social media when one-hit wonders just went away? That's from James Sanderson commenting on this altpress.com article.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's what a ridiculous. Why do we let stupid people become famous?
Because they're amusing.
Is that why the Kardashians are famous?
Yeah. The
Why-
Kardashians
why?
are famous because Paris Hilton got famous.
Yeah, I guess.
And I still don't know what she does.
Cats or there's a whole conversation
Cats
going
get
on
the
about
fuck out.
cats in the chat there.
Bring in the cats. All right, let's see if we can get Reese in here.
Reese was in here earlier.
Well, let's see if we can get her in again.
I had to go. You had just gotten out of the shower, and I was going to do something, and you were like, "Scoop the litter boxes," and I did that. And when I got back, Reese was walking out of the studio like, "I didn't do nothing." But yeah. Anyway,
Let's try and get her in here.
we'll just put the poster for Cats on the green screen.
Yeah.
The movie. The movie that everybody said was fucking terrible. I don't know. I have no intent of seeing it ever. I don't know the first thing about fucking Cats, the musical.
I know a little bit about Cats the musical, but that's because I was like a choir geek.
I think the only musicals I know anything about... Actually, no, let's say this. The only musical I know anything about is Green Day's American Idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was thinking Pink Floyd The Wall, but that's not really a musical.
That's more like an opera.
That's a movie. And then, well, Green Day's American Idiot is an opera. Just
Yes,
like the
it
Who's
is.
Tommy is an opera. So
Yes.
so I don't know shit about musicals, guys. At all. I don't.
You're forgiven.
Yeah. I can't think of a single musical that wasn't an episode of The Simpsons that I know anything about.
Well, maybe we should do some Joe Knows Jack about musicals.
No, we shouldn't.
I would enjoy that.
I wouldn't.
I would sing to you.
Uh,
I used to sing well.
I know you did. Like the closest thing I know to a musical is Grease, and
I was
no.
going to recommend that first.
No.
Because I know you would like it.
No.
And then Grease 2.
No.
Reproduction.
If there's
There's
anything,
a whole song and dance about reproduction.
if there's any, I've always maintained that there's only one movie worse than Grease, and it's Grease 2.
Have you seen Grease 2?
Nope.
It's great.
I've seen Grease 1 enough, but
I won't do that to you, and you won't make me watch Up. That's how that's going to work.
right. Except I've had the misfortune of seeing Grease, so I don't want to see Grease 2 at all.
It's way funnier.
Jasmine's agreeing with you. She's saying Grease 2 is incredible.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. You know what is incredible is our friend Philip Steven, who's got a new EP out. Came out yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday, correct.
Yesterday, and it's called Dead Town, and it's got a song on it called Dead Town, And I'm going to stall until it hits 7 o'clock, and then I'm going to press the button, and we're going to play the song Dead Town by Philip Stephen.
Michelle Pfeiffer looks like a velociraptor in that movie. I don't know. I don't agree with your tastes, Jasmine.
Here's Philip Stephen on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Living in a dead town. You could run, but you don't know how. You don't gotta stand your ground if no one comes around here anymore. Staying in a bad scene. You could leave if you want to leave. You don't gotta stay between if no one comes around here anymore. Yeah, we had it all one time. Money on the rise, black water falling by the county line. I waited for the girl with the white dress on. Woke up by the tracks and the train was gone. I'm proud of where I came from. Think I'll head back. I'm too tired to hang around here anymore. I can let my hair down. Held the king, only me, and now I wear the crown. Ain't nobody roaming round. Nobody comes around here anymore. Safe to say I had it all one time. Money on the rise, black water falling by the county line. I waited for the girl with the white dress on. Woke up by the tracks and the train was gone. I'm proud of where I came from. Think I'll head back. I'm too tired to hang around here anymore. Living in a dead town. You could run, but you don't know how. And no, you don't gotta stand your ground if no one comes around here anymore.
Philip Stephen on all WNY Think So Joe Show. What'd you say before we came back from break? You have a cramp?
I have a cramp in my ass. I might have overdone my down dog. You know.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I might have overstretched my glutes.
Yes.
It feels good, right? It feels good.
So this being stuck in the house thing, this isn't everybody's normal life.
No, no. I guess we're lucky.
It is yours and mine.
Yes.
But I know some people are having a difficult time kind of coping.
Yeah.
And dealing with not being able to go out and see people and just do the regular stuff they usually do. And you had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Actually, not last week, but the week before that, when I spoke with my counselor, she gave, I hope it's okay that I'm giving this number out. She gave me a COVID mental health hotline phone number. And it's a crisis hotline, or even if you're not in crisis, you're alone, you need someone to talk to. It's better than going on dating sites or something like that. Call the COVID hotline. The number is 1-844-863-9314. And that is, I think it's regional. But 1-844-863-9314. So yeah, it's even us who we're normally pretty much in the house. We can leave the house. We just choose not to so often. It's even getting to us a little bit, I mean,
I think for me, it's more the fact that, it's I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's not, like I'm not saying that I would be going everywhere if if it wasn't for everything going on right now in the world, but I definitely, feel like I don't have a choice in the matter right now. And I think
Right.
that's what's the worst thing for me is the lack of control over the situation.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling like I'm in crisis or anything. I'm just like, all right, well, I'm gonna play video games and watch TV and record audio, and
You're just so chill. You're so go with the flow, like, and thank goodness you are, because you have me to deal with. Like,
I actually stayed with you until like 7:30 yesterday. Where from the time I woke up, I was with you until 7:30, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get set up to play video games, watch TV for a
Yeah.
couple hours before I work, and then I got so caught up in playing video games that by the time I was done, I'm like, oh, I have 20 minutes to deliver my next order, and I got it done in like 15. And delivered, and then the next one, like, oh, I have 45 minutes now. Okay, better hurry up and do these. Like, that's so I kind of I should have probably stopped playing earlier. But I got up into I've been getting into well, first of all, I bought that COVID relief bundle a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't played any of the games from that yet. I did play like a couple of rounds of that Pac-Man Champion Edition 2. I don't like it as much as I liked the previous couple of games in that series. But I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight, which came out, I think, in like 2016 or 2017 or something. But it was the one game in that series, like the trilogy of that series, not counting Arkham Origins, that I've never actually played. And I'm like, okay, I need to play this. Like, I need to sit down and, like I just played through both of the other games. Now I got to get this other game and play it. And I got it for like, I think $10 or whatever with all the downloadable content. So now it's like, okay, I've beaten the main part of the game. Now I have to beat some other parts of the game to get the final ending of the game and the final like resolution of the conflict throughout the story of the game. And so that's what I've been up to.
yeah.
Besides watching a lot of hockey and wrestling.
Yep. I don't know. But I actually made some chocolate chip cookies last night, and I'm losing my touch. Like, these chocolate chip cookies need milk because they're just a little bit too cooked. They're a little crunchy. I like them a little more warm and gooey and, I don't know, soft.
My mom said
chewy.
she wanted some, and I just replied like, yeah, one just magically appeared on my desk.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But I also started coloring a little bit again. I can't really take to it because I remember why I quit coloring. I used to like compulsively color. Like, it was almost a problem. I wasn't functional. I just colored. And my hands started to get shaky from my MS. And then I was having a streak where I was doing really well. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get out the colored pencils and see what I can do. And it was really relaxing and everything, but it definitely takes a mind frame to get into those adult coloring books with those intricate designs and everything. So, yeah, it's really important and healthy right now for people to stick to some hobbies. And, I'm not saying don't sleep away half the day because we're sure as hell doing that.
That's why that's kind of why I got back into gaming a lot more. Is, well, one, I built a gaming computer, so you might as well use it for gaming, right?
Right.
I built it mostly for video editing, but I haven't had videos to edit, so I'm like, all right, well, I'll play some games, and I played some NHL the other night while I was watching some TV.
Yeah.
And just got all the unlockables for the week or whatever. Jasmine said that when she had her Xbox, she played through the Arkham games, played them constantly, and they were one of her favorites.
Nice.
It's they're very it's not really my style of game. I like sports games. I like my hockey games. I like my wrestling games. Except I still haven't bought 2K20, and now I'm hearing they're not going to do 2K21. So it's like, okay, well, when's this going to drop to like $3? That's what I'm waiting for. It's for 2K20 to drop to $3. So it's so I can play through like the story mode once and forget about it. Like I do every year with these wrestling games that I usually spend $30 on. So, there's no replay value there for me because I don't play online with those.
Yeah.
But usually I play like the NHL games, or I'll play like retro games, play Mortal Kombat or whatever. So Batman's not usually my style, but like, when I got my PlayStation 3, when Arkham Asylum had just come out, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to check out this Batman game that's been getting like really good reviews. And so I was like, all right, let me play this. And I fell in love with that game. And, I bought it I bought it as soon as I had some money. I bought it for PS3 and then it got stolen. And then I bought it for Xbox 360 digitally. So that's like, I can have it anytime I want. Mm-hmm. And then, Arkham City I bought, which was the sequel to that, and then they released a Return to Arkham 2-pack that was the two of those games for Xbox One, just digitally, like given an HD remake or a remaster, like to look better, and I bought that. And then I bought them all through like this WB bundle on Humble Bundle. So I've owned Arkham City at least 4 times now. Or Arkham Asylum, rather. Arkham City I've owned 3 times, and now I own, this is the first time I've owned Arkham Knight, and I'm like, okay, I gotta see the end of this, because it's the last game in the series.
Okay.
So, then when that's done, I think I'm gonna play Brutal Legend, which is the game with Jack Black.
Oh.
Yeah. That was Tenacious D pop up in this movie you're watching the other day, this Pauly Shore movie, and I'm like, finally, some real actors.
But come on, Pauly Shore. Come on.
I don't understand the appeal.
I don't understand the appeal of Adam Sandler or Jim Carrey or.
I'm saying I don't understand the appeal of Pauly Shore over an Adam Sandler. Like, they're the same fucking person.
No, that's a different character. They each play one character, and it is a stupid character.
That is not true in Adam Sandler's case. Adam Sandler is a fine actor.
Okay. So...
As is Jim Carrey. Except, the number 23, I'll give you this. When I was watching the number 23, I saw that in theaters because I'm like, ooh, Jim Carrey in a serious role. I got to see this. But watching Jim Carrey on the screen the whole time, I'm like, okay, where's the punchline?
Yeah.
Because it's Jim Carrey, and I'm so used to him in roles like Ace Ventura or The Mask or,
right.
Liar, Liar, or, Here's the thing. Pauly Shore plays the same damn character in every single movie. Adam Sandler plays goofy characters in every single movie. But they are different goofy characters in every single movie.
I'm sure they are. I don't like Adam Sandler's characters. I think Pauly Shore is funny. I don't know why. It's just how it is.
I think you like Pauly Shore more than Adam Sandler because Pauly Shore is more of a poster child for smoking weed.
Okay.
Maybe that's could I be onto something here?
I mean,
he's a stoner and he does goofy stoner shit, and that's why you're like, oh, hey, Pauly Shore.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I don't get it. I like Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey. I like old Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey. I don't care for anything like Grown Ups sucked.
I don't.
Yeah, but they try to do serious roles, and you can't take them serious because it's Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey, and you're used to them being fucking goofy. And I think I've also, like Pauly Shore was like, his cool day was like the 80s and early 90s,
yeah.
And then I got into Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler as they were, becoming these huge stars.
I guess we were just before your time.
I guess so. I don't know. I wasn't a stoner until like the late 90s.
Yeah.
So like, I guess I didn't have...
I mean, I wasn't a stoner when I was like 7 and I was first seeing Pauly Shore movies.
I don't know. Yeah. We couldn't watch Encino, man. I mean, at least like, Rob Trujillo's in that movie. The bass player from Metallica.
Oh. What is he in that movie?
He's the bass player for Suicidal Tendencies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to watch that movie now.
No, we don't. If anything, we should watch Ace Ventura so we can see Cannibal Corpse.
You know what? I'll watch Ace Ventura. But if,
I don't want to. But
if we're watching Ace Ventura, I am putting on my Ace Ventura costume.
So, but here's the thing: I don't like Ace Ventura.
You dug your grave. I
don't like Ace. I like Liar Liar. I like The Mask. I like Bruce Almighty. I own like 4 copies of Bruce Almighty. I think I own more copies of Bruce Almighty than I own of the Simpsons movie. Not on purpose. I own, let me see. So I own a DVD. I own a Blu-ray. And then I bought a 3-pack of Jim Carrey DVDs, which was Liar Liar, Man on the Moon, and Bruce Almighty.
Oh.
So I own 3 copies of Bruce Almighty and 3 copies of the Simpsons movie. And I used to own a bootleg copy of Bruce Almighty.
Oh.
That actually was from the theatrical cut that still had a 716 number when he gets paged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They had to edit the movie and take that out because they're not allowed to do that. Did you know that the former chief of police of Buffalo, his phone number was 867-5309?
That's glorious.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So people used to call him all the time.
And he's like the most important guy.
And he's the chief of police. Yeah, this is a true story. 867-5309 was the former chief of police for Buffalo's phone number.
That's
when that song was a hit.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Now you can't even get that number.
No.
I've tried.
I haven't really tried. You gotta spend money to get that number.
I bet somebody already has it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure somebody already has it. It's probably a business.
Why?
Because that's who gets those numbers. Like I know there was some business somewhere, and I don't think it was locally, but some business somewhere paid to get that as their phone number so that they could use it. They could use it in their advertisements.
That's pretty cool. That's a good idea.
I guess Jasmine says chief of police in Depew, but I want to know how you get one of those, like 888-8888. How do I get that? Like, how do I need to be a lawyer to have just a single digit 7 times? Because that seems to be the case. Is all the lawyers have those?
Yeah, William Attar.
Let me tell you something though. William Attar with the 4s, and I'll tell you something though. I preferred Celino and Barnes with their old phone number because it worked better with the jingle.
What was their old phone number?
844-2020.
84.
No, 854-2020.
Yeah.
So you had that jingle, 854-2020. And now they're still trying to fit the 888-8888 in there, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. No, you can't. Why did Karuba Collision have to change their number or their name rather, and that great tagline that they've had for all those years? Make the right decision, insist on Karuba Collision. Now they changed it, their Gerber Collision.
Oh. And
their whole thing is, hey, you remember Karuba Collision? That's us. Like, why'd you change your fucking name then? Like,
this is how we rebrand.
If your whole rebranding is, we used to be these guys. Why aren't you still those guys? I don't know. But whatever happened to Billy Fusillo? You remember that guy? Huge. Yeah. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know, but his sidekick, do you remember like the littler guy that was in those commercials too?
Yeah.
He had in Orlando, he had a string of car companies. So when I was away at college, he would be on the TV. I'm like, wait, no. Like,
Yeah, well, I guess Fusillo had dealerships up and down the coast.
Yeah.
So you could go like anywhere on the East Coast, and it would be like huge.
Yeah.
You remember that? But like, whatever happened to that guy? He disappeared. You know who else I miss is the New York State Lotto jackpot is now that guy. You remember that
the
guy?
lotto guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to these people? And then does Yolanda Vega still give the
I don't think so. She would be old by now.
I'm sure she would, but she was doing that was when I was a kid. It's Yolanda Vega with with your lotto numbers.
I'll always remember that.
I miss Irv Weinstein. You remember, are you old enough to remember Irv Weinstein?
Yes.
I used to, that was like, you didn't have internet back then. That's how you got your news.
Yeah,
you had
right.
to sit around the TV. It was family time. You sit around, watch Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Irv Weinstein.
Yep.
And then you had Commander Tom.
Yeah.
He was the weather guy and also had the morning show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, memories of childhood in Western New York here. But you don't see those commercials anymore for Billy Fusillo, I've noticed, at least not on any of the programming I watch.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just the programming that we watch.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Has anybody seen a Billy Fusillo huge commercial? Is his dealership even still there on Grand Island? I don't even know.
I can't remember. Well, the last time I went to Grand Island, there was a horrible snowstorm, and I was babysitting Robert.
So you wouldn't have had the giant inflatable dinosaur.
No, it would have been out of season.
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
don't know.
passed that part of the island either.
Well, yeah, that's closer to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is all. We're just now kind of. This is the part of the show. Maybe we should just do an hour, like Laura said, so we're not sitting here like, what do we talk about for the next hour? We've already talked about everything we wanted to talk about up front. But anyway, no, seriously though, like, yeah, I don't know what happened to half these advertising. And you would think Fusillo would have been around because he was doing it was his car dealership or whatever.
Right.
I don't really see
Maybe he sold it to that other guy. Like maybe he passed it on.
Maybe I just don't see car dealership commercials. I don't recall the last time I've seen an ad for a car dealership.
I think it's always been like Carvana or CarMax now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is I see Carvana and CarMax commercials, and I don't, I guess that's an easier way of getting a car than actually going to the dealership. I have no idea.
Well, you got to remember that a lot of the advertising we're exposed to is target marketing.
This is true because
and we are not in that target market. We don't drive.
And even though we have Spectrum for cable, when we're watching live television, I'm typically not watching it on the Spectrum app.
Yeah.
Last few nights I've been, because it's been working fine.
Okay.
It's been working fine, and I've been able to, it's been working. It works better than TNT's fucking app.
Yeah.
For watching wrestling on Wednesday nights. But that's, TNT's app works fine until it goes to the commercials, because the commercials it shows are from the TNT app and not from the actual, TV channel.
Yeah.
And so they'll cut to ads, and sometimes the ads will freeze. And you got to refresh the whole thing and just start all over and try and watch the show. But, which I don't, you don't have that problem on Spectrum. You just have the problem of Spectrum's app usually sucks. Usually. It's been okay. I've been watching, Sabres games on Spectrum's app because I've been having trouble getting to them on, MSG's app.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I want to get rid of Spectrum. I really, I want to switch back to Sling, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that now. I liked Sling because it always fucking worked.
Yeah.
And it was relatively inexpensive, but then you still have to pay for your internet through Spectrum. And now we've got this other, Tom Golisano's actually bringing a different internet company to Buffalo.
Oh.
I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but it's, he's unveiling it in Syracuse, Rochester, and he was gauging interest in Buffalo, and apparently they got enough interest, and they're like, okay, we're gonna bring it to Buffalo. The problem is you got to wait for it to roll out in your neighborhood once it does get to Buffalo, which has been a problem with Verizon Fios, which we're not able to get here. So we're stuck with Spectrum. Or we can get DSL, which is like a tenth of the speed at the same cost and needs a phone line installed. So, no, we're not doing that. But, yeah. Yeah.
So, we know what you've been binge watching through the quarantine.
Yeah.
Besides The Simpsons and the hockey and the wrestling, we've been watching lots of American Dad.
We got through the last episode last night.
I have to rewatch it because I fell asleep.
I was very upset. There's going to be another season coming up. But I was very upset when I realized that it was the last episode because it was like, coming up next, Bob's Burgers. And I'm like, where the fuck is that remote control? This fucking remote. I'm not watching that stupid ass show.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of Bob's Burgers, and it's funny, but it is a stupid show. Mm-hmm. But it's my taste. It's my kind of stupid. And I binge watched Norseman. That was really good. I got my sister hooked on that.
Maybe that's it for me. Maybe I just don't like stupid.
Maybe.
So I don't like Pauly Shore, and I don't like Bob's Burgers, and I don't get Adventure Time.
It could be the weed.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can watch, what's the show with Frylock and all that? Aqua Teen. I can watch that. I can watch that if I'm in the mood to watch that.
I think I would have to be in the mood, too.
But
I think that once I got in the mood, I would be in the mood for a long time. And we would go on a binge watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
We have the movie.
I wouldn't mind watching that.
I've never seen it, but I own it.
Let's watch it.
Yeah.
We have nothing but time. Well, I have nothing but time. I don't know how to play a DVD.
It's not on DVD. It's on Amazon.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon. If not, it's on Google. It's on something.
Okay.
You'll find it if you go searching around through the movie apps on the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I remember watching Aqua Teen like when it was a news show.
Yeah.
And like Boost Mobile just came out and they were doing the where you at dog commercials.
Yeah.
And like Aqua Teen did a whole episode where Master Shake's just like, where you at dog? Where you at dog? And I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was more of a Robot Chicken guy.
Okay.
I liked Boondocks a little bit. Boondocks was a good show.
I never got into it. Maybe because it was just like a different kind of sense of humor that you actually had to stop and think about.
Right.
And
maybe that's it because I like intellectual humor.
Yeah, maybe.
I like stupid humor. I mean, that would explain why I like some Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler movies. But I mean, like, I don't like really stupid humor. And then they've done like more serious, movies where there's a comedic element to it. And I think that was what was missing from the number 23 was there was no comedic element whatsoever to it. This is just Jim Carrey in a fucking serious role in a horror movie or a thriller movie or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And there was no like jokes. It was all just, I mean, don't get me wrong, the movie itself was a fucking joke. Because, can I spoil a movie that's that old? Am I allowed to do that?
I don't know.
So the whole movie, his character is looking for this guy named Topsy Kretz. And at the end of the movie, you find out that was him. And it was Top Secrets. It was just, yeah. Anyway, but there's movies like The Longest Yard, Adam Sandler's remake of the Burt Reynolds movie, The Longest Yard. That movie is more serious than your typical Adam Sandler role, but it's still funny.
Okay.
Especially the cameos from professional wrestlers, especially Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is great in that movie.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in a long time. I own it on DVD. I was looking for it on like streaming, but I couldn't find it for free. So like, I'm not spending money on a movie I already own, unless it's to like convert it to the streaming platform. Then I'll drop the $5 to not have to put the DVD in. All right, Laura's gonna yell at us. So this you found this on a couple of forums, a couple of groups on Facebook. This is a guy who calls himself Rastaman, and he's got a new EP out called The Retakes, which is available now. You can get that on Spotify or wherever you like to stream music. Bargain bin version of Memento, the number 23. Yes, agreed. Memento was a great movie. Anyway, but this is Rastaman. This song's called Keep On All WNY Think So Joe Show.
Rasta on the beat, and you know this shit be smacking. Bound to make it happen, I will never give up rapping. Verbally I'm snapping, herbally I'm packing, cause I got lots of green. Riding round with my team, and we smoking real mean. I pull up to the scene, and I'm stinking like some cheese. And I do this shit with these, go low and no in between. And I'm steady making beats, staying up just like some tweakers, just so I can blow your speakers. Right clean like new sneakers while I'm smoking on my reefer. Have no love for a cheater, get someone who is loyal, that'll hold it down for you and treat you like some royalty. That's the way it's supposed to be. Don't nobody notice me, but I've been on my grind, never losing focus, shit just taking some time. But I ain't hard to find, you can find me in the studio, just cooking up that groovy flow. But I have a doobie rolled, just cause I need to smoke. I just wanna spread love and give the people hope, cause this music is a drug, man, it's better than dope. Need to open up your mind, more to life than getting high, can't see it if you're blind. Our whole life is just a ride that we just can't stop. So I'll be on my grind till I reach the top, never wasting any time, always working till I drop. I could never flop or switch up on a homie, and that's the way it's gonna be till I am a OG. Tell the cops to blow me, never could respect a cop. Too many people getting shot just cause their hands are in their pockets, and we really need to stop it. Take them down just like a rocket, turn it up just a few notches, cause they're not gonna stop this. I flow just like a faucet, was my brain, I think I lost it. Might end up in a coffin, but I don't care, it's not my problem. My door's constantly revolving, but my problems I'm not solving. I know I found my calling, I just need to get it perfect. I know it will be worth it, but I can barely see the surface. Yeah. No, I keep on going, I just keep on flowing. Eyes barely open cause I keep on smoking, but I stay focused in a world so hopeless. I just keep on trying, I will never give up. So I'm always steady grinding, never giving a fuck. That's why I'm always rhyming, hope one day I blow up. Cause right now I feel stuck, but I keep looking up, cause I know I'm gonna make it if I never give up. I be that young Rasta, no imposter, pull up with my shotters. I run the block, don't fuck with cops, shut down all the ops. Look at the clock, I think it's time, phone hot, don't hit my line. Stay on the grind, don't waste no time, my weed tastes like limes. Be jamming to Sublime, just waiting for my time. I know I'm gonna shine, I just have to go and get it. Give me wax, I'm gonna flip it, rockstar life, I'm gonna live it. Put down all the prescriptions and I really started living. Be smoking so much weed, that's why I'm silly grinning, always winning since the beginning. One love, homie, let's fucking get it. Chasing chicken, don't stress about no women. I stay smoking while you're finished, feeling diminished, out of commission. I'm on a mission, you can't see my vision, the plot you're missing. I'm steady fishing for the cash, always smoking out the bag, tripping and I'm counting cash. Know this life, it will not last, cause I'm living so damn fast.
That was Rastaman on all WNY Think So Joe show. I had to push the fader up on that one. He recorded that pretty low.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pretty chill.
Yeah. It's a white guy. it's just a picture of a white guy with dreads on the album cover. Like, hey, okay, sure. Whatever you say, Snow. It's, there was the criticism of Snow when he came out. It was like, which Jim Carrey did a great parody of him on In Living Color. That's why I like Jim Carrey, is I watched him on In Living Color. I
didn't watch that.
That was one of
my bedtime.
That was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck my mom let me watch In Living Color after watching some of that back over the last, over the decades since.
Yeah.
But Jim Carrey is Fire Marshal Bill. That's one of the ones that stands out to like everybody.
Yeah.
When the fuck weren't we supposed to be getting a Homie to Clown movie? Like, I was, or at least like a In Living Color reboot, or with the Wayans brothers. I don't know.
I don't know anything about anything.
You keep hearing all these rumors, like we're getting a Homie the Clown movie, we're getting a Wayans brothers reboot of In Living Color with David Allen Greer, and like, holy shit, that'd be awesome if we got another In Living Color. It wouldn't be able to be as bad as it was, I think, when I was a kid and watching it. But and then he always had musical guests at the end, so you got to hear all, that was how you discovered music back then, was you watch In Living Color, you watch MTV. Now you got to listen to Pandora or Spotify and risk hearing Trapped. Yeah. But, so anyway, we were talking about movies before we went to break, and it was pointed out that the number 23 was like a bargain bin version of Memento. Memento was the first movie I ever watched on Netflix.
Really?
On the streaming version of Netflix. We used to have the mail order DVDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
back when Netflix first was around, and you'd get a DVD in the mail, and then you watch it, and you have to send it back before you could get your next one. And
before Red Boxes, weren't those Netflix?
No.
No?
No, Netflix actually went through the mail.
Okay.
And then Redbox came along, and Redbox, I think, did that business model better because they had the kiosks.
Yeah.
That you could just go to and, tap the touch screen and get the movie you want. Which, I'll tell you what, I used to, when I was working overnights,
yeah,
I used to love Redbox. Because that was just like, all right, what am I going to watch tonight? Mm-hmm. So
it was like $1 or something, wasn't it?
You go there, you spend your $1, and I had a DVD player on my laptop, so just go rent a movie and go to work, watch a movie.
Yeah.
And and I also had a DVD burner on my laptop, so I would just go rip the movie to my hard drive.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing with Redbox is you don't get like all the bonus features and everything. You actually have to buy the DVD to get the bonus features.
Oh.
So, that kind of sucked because I was watching movies like Ted, which have hilarious bonus features.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I used to watch a lot of movies. And then I'm not really a movie watcher. Everybody knows that listens to this show, watches this show. And, but there was a lot of movies that I've since bought that I got through Redbox in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, I watched The Watchmen one night. You ever see Watchmen?
I don't think so.
So I bought that. I think it's still probably in its plastic.
Oh, wow.
It's a good movie. I just haven't felt like watching it. I don't watch a lot of superhero movies. It was like I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. And I saw like Captain America the Winter Soldier, but that's all of the movies from the entire MCU that I've seen.
Yeah.
One, I don't watch movies, and two, fucking Captain America put me the fuck to sleep.
He's never been one of my favorites. He's kind of, like, I don't even know enough about him to say this, but he's kind of the lamest superhero.
Aquaman?
Okay. Okay.
Biclops. That's a Simpsons reference. It's a later season Simpsons reference, I think, too, so I don't know how many people actually got that besides me. Anyway. Yeah, no, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy just because the soundtrack was great. So I'm like, ooh, you know what? Let me see this movie. So I saw it. I own Guardians 2, but I never watched it.
Oh.
Like, I got it for free.
Oh.
Because JT bought it, and my buddy JT bought it on DVD, and he's like, oh, well, you know, he's like, hey, who wants this digital code? I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it. And I still haven't watched it because it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Movies in general are not my thing, but
yeah,
I don't know. I kind of, like, and then I was doing voiceovers for all the Avengers stuff. Like, oh, here's what's gonna happen. Here's who the big bad villain is in the Avengers movies, and blah blah blah. So, like, when those movies were about to come out, I'm doing all these voiceovers, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what the fuck a Thanos is. I'm having to like look up names of characters and shit, how to pronounce them.
Yeah.
And then also Game of Thrones, like before the last season of Game of Thrones, like, here's the top 10 characters in Game of Thrones. I'm like, how the fuck do I say that? And then Harry Potter, like Jasmine was asking a couple of weeks ago, you remember, you've never seen Harry Potter? No, I actually literally got a voiceover doing Harry Potter stuff and had to learn how to pronounce Hermione. I had no idea. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I should probably look up how to say this now because I've never actually had to know how to say it before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's how I know about movies, is doing voiceovers for Movie House, and I was doing a comic book, not a comic book, but like a comic movie YouTube channel for a little while, and I didn't know shit about any of this.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a couple of people send me anime things, and I'm like, I don't know nothing about this. And literally, both of them only sent me one script. Never heard from them again.
Did you do the scripts?
Oh, yeah. But I never heard from them again after I did them. Because it's like, okay, well, you did the work, so here's the money, but we're going to go hire somebody who knows how to say this stuff. So now what I'm doing is a lot of, like, sports stuff.
Okay. And,
my clients are pretty much from overseas, so it's all football. Football. And I got to talk about all these soccer players whose names I can't pronounce. But I did one yesterday. I was really excited about this one because it was like the top 25 saves in sports. And like half the list were NHL goalies. And I'm like, yeah, I can pronounce these names.
Yeah.
Peter Mrazek? Yeah, I can say that. Marc-Andre Fleury? Yeah, I can say that. And so it's like, okay, yeah. But he keeps confusing the NFL and the NHL.
Oh, dear.
So it's like, thank God I know stuff about the NHL.
Yeah.
Because I know these are NHL players and not NFL players that he's referencing here. Like, so, But, yeah, I'll take more hockey voiceovers if anybody wants hockey voiceovers done, or wrestling voiceovers. I've done wrestling voiceovers from people who don't typically do wrestling stuff, who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And so I'm sitting there like correcting the entire script.
Yeah.
And sending it back to them with notes like, hey, so it's painfully obvious you don't watch WWE, so I fixed a lot of this for you. But yeah. But then like when my wrestling scripts call for me to talk about MMA, I don't know how to say half these fucking names in the UFC guys. So the comment section just, how the fuck don't you know how to say this? Like, because I voice a wrestling channel, not a fucking MMA channel. That's how I can't say the MMA guys' names.
Different worlds.
Yeah. But, yeah. Somebody said something last night about some wrestling news that was coming up, and I'm like, oh no, they said, you remember when you were a kid and you just watched wrestling because it was fun and you'd like to watch it, and you didn't care about spoilers and news? I'm like, I still don't care about spoilers and news. I just get paid to read them, so I'm stuck with them. I'm on two of the top 50 wrestling channels in YouTube history. Like, yeah, I kind of have to pay attention to this shit, whether I want to or not, because I'm getting paid for it.
Well, I mean, if you wanted another niche, I'm sure that you could fall into it.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, just no, I kind of like getting things where I get to talk about hockey. You know, that's few and far between. Especially like I said, they're all European and whatever. So it's like, oh, you know, we want to talk about Lionel Messi and you know, Ronaldo and all these other soccer players and everything. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know how to pronounce these team names. Like, why do you keep hiring me for soccer videos? Like, call me when you got hockey.
Yeah.
Or even football. I can, you know, American football. I can
Yeah.
pronounce a lot of those names. I don't know all the players, but you know, I've probably heard their name a time or two.
Right.
But you know, that's my job, I guess. I gotta, and a lot of the time I won't look up shit unless like you know, it's a common word that I should know, but I don't know how to pronounce. So it's like, okay, well, let me make sure I'm saying this one right. Like macabre is a tough word because it's spelled with an R, M-A-C-A-B-R-E.
It looks like Maccabe.
Yeah, right. So like, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Or the Louvre. The Louvre, the museum in France. The Louvre. It's spelled with an R. Like,
They like to hide letters, the French.
yeah.
They like to do that.
And then when you look up how to pronounce that, it's like Louvre or Louvre.
Give me
Which
or the
one?
other.
So that's the fun part of my job is like learning how to pronounce all these words that you've only read.
Yeah.
Or
That's a textbook word.
the worst part is when it's like myths and legends and stuff like that, and there's all these words you don't know, and then when you look them up, you can't find them because they're not real words.
Yeah.
I do a lot of dinosaur stuff too, so it's like, oh shit, I have to find out how do I say this word now? You know, like, you know, I can say that other word, but what's the word that goes with it? Or they give me like the Latin names of shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. How the fuck?
Sound it out.
Yeah, that's what I have to do. Medical shit. That's a pain in the ass too. You know.
I bet.
Oh yeah. My job is much harder than people think it is. I mean, it's not really that much harder than people think it is, but it's harder than people think it is. Especially most of the time, I'm just working for the same clients over and over again. So it's like, okay. I had a client the other day sends me the script. There's like barely any punctuation in it.
Oh dear.
So I don't know how I'm supposed to structure these sentences, right?
Yeah.
So he sends it back to me like, hey, you know, can you do this line? Yeah, sure, whatever. So I do the line again, and he sends it back to me again. He says you're reading it too fast. So I do the line one more time, and I'm like, listen, man, this is the last revision unless he sends me one with proper punctuation.
Yeah.
Because that is how I'm reading this. That's how it's written. That's how it's being read.
Yeah. Did he send you another
No,
one?
he didn't.
Okay.
So, in fact, so now I'm actually the client that I said that to. I'm actually going to be a part of his studio.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be a part of a few studios now. That's a thing that Fiverr's finally rolling out after they announced it last year.
Yeah.
It looks like. So I mean, like I've been open to doing studio jobs for like a year now, and finally I'm getting all my clients like, hey, you know, I'm going to start a studio. Do you want to be a part of it? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sounds important.
Well, I got one who's like, I'm thinking of starting a studio. I don't know. If I do, I want you to be a part of it. So I appreciate that, and I would definitely like to be a part of your studio if you do one. He's like, but I don't know if I'm going to do one. He's like, I'm thinking about it. I'll let you know. And he's still thinking about it. And then I had another one like, oh, you know, I want to do a studio. I want you to be in it. And I'm like, let me get back to you. And then I found out I can only be in 3 studios. So I was like, all right, I don't know.
They always get
like,
you somehow.
So now I got to, like, do I want to take both of the ones that I know are happening? And then if the other one happens, I'm definitely going to take that one. And then I'm not open to be in another studio.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want to just take the one, hope the other one's going to happen, and then I'm in 2, and then I can keep my options open. Now, you know, or do I take all 3 and then I have to quit one when somebody else who's a regular wants to do one, and I don't know if that's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, I've got the 3 right now that want me to do it, and it's like, okay, well, you know, sure. I don't know if it's going to bring me more work or more money or anything, but, it's something. I was up till, what was it, like 6 o'clock in the fucking morning the other day working?
Yeah.
I started at like 11. I worked for like a whole fucking shift, basically.
Yeah, it was like real people work.
Yeah, and I didn't like stop for longer than like half an hour. My usual 30-minute break, and I'm just still like working and working and working. I'm like, God damn, this has to end at some point, And then I was doing a museum thing, like I don't know if it was a museum or just like interactive software or something, but it was this is put a pin in the globe and we'll spin it on the pin so you can see where the sunlight hits, and it was educational kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I did all that, and then he messages me. He's like, oh, here's the revisions I need. Like, okay, cool. Like, do you want them in just sentences, or do you want me to record them into the original files? And I never got an answer on that question.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I just ended up just recording the lines.
Yeah.
And sending them. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, if you need anything else, let me know. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to, is just work, and video games.
You're very lucky to be working and to be in a working environment that is relatively safe.
Yes, absolutely. I'm thankful for my job.
My sister works in healthcare, and like, even before they're making it mandatory, they have to wear masks. And I don't know, like, her patients, I think, have to wear masks too.
I'm sure.
And oh my gosh, it stresses me out knowing that she goes into work there, and like knowing that people have tested positive, and like she was sick, but she didn't get a test. So like, she'll never know if she actually had the coronavirus,
New York City has upped their death toll for the coronavirus by adding in people who died from what they think might have been the coronavirus that they never tested.
Really?
They added like 3,700 more people to the death count.
Wow.
And which, but they don't know for sure that's so, like, these numbers are skewed.
Yeah.
And that really sucks, because I would like accurate information on this.
Yeah, true.
If I'm trying to see like where the numbers are going, and look for the patterns and look for any sign of decline or anything. And the numbers have, from what I understand, they've been declining. New cases and new deaths, those numbers have been declining daily.
Yeah.
I saw a meme the other day, right? It just shows Minnesota new deaths -1. And so what this, I'm sure what this actually meant was that it was one less death from the day before. But somebody took that and they saw the -1 and they made a meme, and it was like, oh, one Minnesota guy comes back from and it's a picture of the Undertaker or some shit. I don't know. It was like, okay, and I didn't want to spoil the fun by saying, guys, no, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that asshole. I'm that asshole enough. I'm definitely the asshole that spoils the fun a lot, but I'm trying not to be. But yeah, I mean, that's, you gotta, I'd like to have accurate information to see where the numbers are going. But you're never going to have accurate information, especially because we don't have widespread testing.
Yep.
Somebody posted a widespread testing in South Korea, and they've had less deaths and less cases. And part of that in South Korea is that South Korea actually tracks your cell phone. And how that works is they know where you've been, when, and who you've been in contact with.
Oh, wow.
So if somebody's got the virus, they're able to call you and say, hey, listen, you were in this place at this time, so was this other guy.
Wow.
You should stay home for a couple of weeks.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
It's crazy, and it's, maybe it's a violation of privacy, and Americans wouldn't stand for that, I'm sure,
Right.
but look at the difference.
True.
Like, they've had far less cases. Of course, they have far less people. So, you can't really compare us to other countries because we're a much larger country spread out over a much larger landmass than a lot of other countries who are reporting.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to keep an accurate look at this. I'm just seeing how long that last song is. But anyway, so, that's where we're at, is we just got to look at our numbers and worry about getting our numbers down.
Yeah.
Worry about getting to a point where they're declining and we're not getting so many new cases every day and not getting so many new deaths every day. But also, we're not testing everybody.
Yeah. People
who have symptoms call the doctors. The doctors say, okay, stay home.
Yep.
Don't leave the house for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So we don't know how many people actually legitimately have this virus in New York. What I do know is that Bill Manspeaker does not have the coronavirus.
Yeah?
He got a test. It is negative. Bill Manspeaker does not have the coronavirus.
That's very good.
So he got kicked out of his fucking studio for no reason.
Oh, my God.
Because you remember that story from a couple of weeks ago. He got kicked out of his studio because they were like, oh, yeah, Bill's got the coronavirus, so we're kicking him out.
That's so unconstitutional.
Oh, very much so. And he's got a great lawsuit on his hands, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, But, that's, good for Bill. Glad he got a test.
Absolutely.
Glad he's not got it. He was traveling a lot when everything was happening. So, and of course, we're hoping that we'll be able to do this Bill Manspeaker. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a birthday show now because it's been pushed back to, I think, like September or something.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know, but
as long as it happens.
Yeah, we're still looking forward to Montage Music Hall with Green Jello. So we're gonna get out of here. We got a new single from Periodic Table of Elephants, which is a fantastic band name, isn't it?
It really is.
Like, who's sitting around thinking about the Periodic Table of Elements and like, hey, you know what we should do?
Right.
Yeah, that's a great band name, guys.
Yeah, good job.
So, but this is a new single from them. It's called Waiting on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show, and we will see you next week. Any second now.
Overdue. I went to buy a watch and everybody's out of time. Set it all on fire just to say goodnight. I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait it for you now. Happy and evicted and burning too bright and counting the horses and digging at night. Please rewind and repeat, the sessions are cheap. A house full of wine, whispers while I sleep. I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait it for you now. Scratched out my eyes. Forgive me for fixing and choking on fires. I went to buy a drink, but I lost my fucking mind. I caught up my pride, but I came back that night. I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait it for you now. The problem was me and my dead agony. We came to the end of the choices I see. I went to buy us lunch and I came back on time. You told me to leave before you start to cry. I'll wait, I'll wait.